We are the Nerd Eternal Network.
Hello, and welcome to Icons, Blood and Stars, here on the Nerd Eternal Network. I'm your GM for the day, Jason. And with me today will be Taylor playing Muckboot.
Howdy, howdy.
Curtis playing Bloodthorn.
Hola.
Mike playing Eve, the Living Nebula.
Acknowledgement.
And Zach playing Silver Shooting Star.
Thank you for joining us.
And I believe we left off last week. You were on a planet called Ampersand. One that you suspected was was under attack by the invading force. Let me put my sound up. By this unknown invasion force, you'd been sent out to scout. You found the planet largely depopulated, at least in and around the capital city where you landed. While exploring the city, you discover, I think it was 3 men, soldiers. They seem to be harassing, kind of fighting one of the natives. They kept shooting him. He'd take obvious damage and fall down, but then get immediately back up. They seem to be just making a great game out of it. So you engaged them and took them down pretty rapidly. The fight was going on next to their ship, which started spitting out security droids that you then had to deal with. When all that was resolved, the man introduced himself. Does anybody remember what his name was?
I know he was the last.
Theron Ute, if
Yes.
if I got that down right.
I believe so. And yes, his title basically means last emperor. He had told you he was some sort of immortal being. I mean, physically he looks like one of the natives. But basically he's physically immortal, but can only exist. He's tied. I think he worded it as he is tied to the planet. He talked about the invaders, defeating his military, taking him and his people captive, and him telling them they wouldn't be able to actually take him out of the system. That he figures about the time they were hitting the edge of the system, his other body would have crumbled to dust. And then the park that the fight went down in is where he regenerates. It was, thousands and tens of thousands of years ago, the spot where he became immortal. So anytime something too massive happens, he just kind of reappears here. And that was right where we wrapped up. Y'all got to talk to him just a little bit after the fight. So you're still...
He hadn't got to tell us his whole story.
Right. So y'all are still standing in the alien ship, big holes torn in the side, if I remember correctly. I forget who. It may have been Eve that kicked a hole in the wall.
Yeah.
It seems like an Eve sort of thing to do.
It's the only thing I could hit.
I can hit a ship as long as I'm inside it. So anyway, starting up there, the Emperor has explained to you who he is. I think you might have informed him about the miners that you discovered coming into the system.
Yes.
So he requests your assistance to scavenge around some, looking for survivors, finding some usable equipment. So, within the first day of helping him, assuming y'all choose to help him, you get a few working ships. He goes out further from the major metropolitan areas, there's still a fair number of people kind of out in your more rural areas.
Oh, good. They didn't get them all.
I mean, the population is decimated, but it's only been a few weeks. The invaders did not take the time to turn over every rock and every look at every nook and cranny to find everybody. But he gets enough people together that that he gets. Some of them are gathering supplies. Any of them with piloting experience are hitting the other major spaceports to find working ships so they can go get the miners. Since that's a real time sensitive sort of thing. They find out major storehouses of goods have been raided. But again, it's like the big cities are hit the hardest. The more you get into a small community, the less likely it was that the invaders took the time to really do much.
They went for the big fruit.
Mm-hmm. So, with you and your working ship helping him, he manages to get connected to people and kind of start organizing fairly quickly. It's the sort of thing that's going to take a culture a long time to recover from.
Yeah.
But you've at least ensured that they're going to survive up to that point. And of course, the invader, other than military targets, the invaders didn't wreck a lot of stuff just to wreck stuff.
They just eliminated what was the immediate hindrance
Right.
to harvesting, I guess.
So, libraries, their version of the internet, all that kind of stuff is still, all that information is still just kind of sitting out there. And of course, the galactic community as a whole may send relief efforts once that is possible. But you spend you spend just a day or two helping him kind of get that started. And he lets you know, that basically he and his people can handle it from there. They thank you. He uploads the information to your ship. About how the attack took place, the formation, the ship formations, what the ships look like, all the information they had gathered. You have footage of the combat.
In that footage, does it appear that every single invader has a power? Does it seem like a massive amount of powered individuals, or is it mostly like just foot soldiers marching in and shooting guns?
As far as like the troops that hit the ground, the majority of them seem to just be gun wielders.
Are they wearing battle armor? Can we tell if they're the same race or if they look like they're an assortment of races?
The vast majority of them look the same race. There's a few spots here and there where there's clearly somebody else working with them. You've got one unit that, the uniforms are very similar, but they're, cut differently because it's a noticeably different species. Joints been the wrong way, or they're insectoid or something like that.
But they're not like completely covered. You can see their faces and stuff. And say, oh.
Yeah. There's some scenes where you're like, I can't tell if it's the same species or not because they're both basically humanoid, and a lot of the soldiers are wearing helmets. But no, they clearly have at least some troops of other species. There's a lot of footage to go through, but you can kind of skim through and get that. There are plenty of powered individuals. They appear to be the higher rankers. The foot soldiers always seem to kind of take their lead from the powered individuals. Even the fight in orbit there is footage. You've got ship on ship combat, but you'll occasionally spot glowing and flying individuals, taking ship zone. So
Something surprising there, but not exactly.
no. So yeah, the bulk of the troops are just troops, but they do seem to have quite a few powered individuals.
Aside from their stun blasters, what other kinds of weapons do they seem to use?
The baseline kind of blaster rifle that you've been seeing seems to be like the standard armament. You see examples of heavier weapons or EMP kind of specific weapons, things to take down mechanical opponents or force shields or that sort of thing. There's some footage of them using like explosives they plant on the wall to like breach walls and stuff. Nobody's running around with laser swords or vibro axes or anything like that. You can tell there's some kind of hand-to-hand weapons. Some of them will have a hand-to-hand weapon like a knife or something on a belt. But
they obviously don't know how to have any fun.
But they use a lot of, they appear to be familiar with like urban warfare from how quickly they swept through the cities. And they hit with a huge number of troops. And you can tell in the fight that the local government's patrol crafts were really just not up to this fight. Which this system has always been kind of isolationist, so they're not, they're way more advanced than Earth, but they're not necessarily quite up to the galactic standard.
Yeah.
They've always been able to put up enough of a fight that none of the big, and them kind of being out in the boonies, none of the big powers have ever looked at them as being worth the trouble. But these new guys, apparently, everybody's worth the trouble. Is there any other specific information you want to look for before y'all head out?
Not off the top of my head. What about the rest of y'all?
Nothing I can think of.
Do they have a use for the dead bodies?
Oh, of the soldiers? Yeah, they don't care. If you want to take them back to be examined, then yeah, have at it.
Yep.
He would like to see if their historical logs have any information on maniacs, a maniac star or anything like that. Eve is still shook from what he had learned back at the lodge.
His people have never heard of the Tyrant Star. Okay. Or Maniac Star, I think that you're right.
Very fortunate.
Well, what about the ship that was wrecked that belonged to, the robots and stuff that we fought? Is there anything on its computer that we can find about them that would be useful? Or data that we could download to bring to the lodge?
Rudan is pretty sure she can, basically remove the hard drive, if you will. Just from where she's worked on that other ship and is she's as familiar as anybody you're going to find with their technology. It's like, the computer systems are pretty modular, but there's like a central core that they all, kind of dump their memories into, information into. So you can probably take, she'll get that worked out and removed, and to some of her co-workers, I guess. some of the other Star Forgers working on that project back at the Hunter's Lodge they should have something rigged up that they can just insert this in. If all else fails, they should be able to plug it up to the other ship and access it that way. And hopefully by the time we get back, they'll have finished translating the language. Because,
any information we can get is probably a good thing.
Alright, so y'all heading back to the... Oh, go ahead, Tyler.
I believe we're good to return. The mission's complete. We have news. We have information. There's been no loss of life. Let's get out while the getting's good.
Alright, so y'all head back. On your way back, there's a couple of times that you pick up ships that the Hound is not familiar with their configuration. They're always at a far enough distance that it doesn't get a good scan, and it's not close enough to cause any major alarm.
Is it the same ship each time, or just different ships that it doesn't recognize?
It's a couple different ships it doesn't recognize. You make it back to the lodge. Space around the lodge is still super busy, like I described before. Lots of delegates from the various nations, military transports coming and going. Lots of refugees are passing through here. They'll stay for a little while in this system until they find some host planet that can take in so many. When you get back, Geode heads off to make a report to his father, Dude.
Mugboot's a professional. He wrote it on the way.
Well, he's gonna go talk. He's gonna go talk in person to his father. But so the rest of you, you're basically told, later in the day the council's gonna get together again. And probably have some questions to ask you after they've had a chance to go over Mugboot's written report. As soon as Rodan gets back, she takes the tech you've got and heads over to her people. Did you do any kind of examinations on the bodies on the trip over, or did y'all just bring those to give the authorities?
I don't have any medical training, so there's not much I would have been able to do myself. Anybody else?
Not me.
I would have made sure to,
Kira and
Drink.
Muckboot have been with the hunters, so they might want to take a cursory look.
Oh, I mean, I've drained the body appropriately and saved the fluids in different containers. But I'm not medically inclined to be like, oh yes, this gives superpowers. So I'm just here conserving everything for study with the experts.
Rodan does a little poking and prodding. No, she doesn't get anything definitive because she ain't got that kind of equipment.
Yeah.
She does notice each of them is tattooed, or it's something that looks like a tattoo at least. She's like, I don't know what that is though. Whatever they did use to do that is not. It's not ink or any material I can identify.
Oh, that's really weird.
Yeah, each of them's tattooed. Each of the tattoos is different, and they're all, you know.
They are all different. You said.
Yeah, each of the three is different. None of them are especially big. You know, it's, I don't know. You could fit them on a average size Chips Ahoy cookie. Let's say, you know, they'd all fit in a circle about that big around. You know, one guy's got it on his arm, kind of like, you know, a lot of people put a tattoo right there on under their shoulder. One guy's got it on his shoulder, on his back. One guy's just got it on his chest.
Excuse me.
But she's like, yeah, I don't know what that's made out
Kind
of.
of hot.
Do what now?
It's like that's weird, but kind of hot. It's odd that they all look different, though.
So, yep, I don't know what to make of it. So those get carted off. Later that day, Rudan will contact Muckboot, you know, just over the comms. She wants to let you know that, you know, the medical staff is more specialized in biology than she is. I mean, she knows her stuff, but she's working on the ship. Anyway, they begin examining the bodies. They're very excited about their tattoos. One of the individuals that you eliminated on the refugee craft was also tattooed.
Is it any known magic rune?
They are contacting some of the more mystical-oriented folks to see about that. It's not anything her or any of the other Starforgers recognize.
But only one of the ones from
On the refugee ship.
encounter had the tattoo. Also interesting.
And it was specifically they've identified it as the one that when things had gone bad on the ship, that one guy grabbed the other two and they teleported back to the ship.
It seemed like he was more or less in charge.
Right, the one that seemed to be in charge, the one that grabbed his two buddies and then teleported. That's the one that was tattooed.
Oh, so is it possible? Is it possible then that there's only like that the teleportation powers aren't like a species-wide power like we might have surmised, but perhaps just granted to whoever has the specific tattoo for that ability.
Well, Rudan's telling Muckboot, so Muckboot can tell you about this later.
Oh, right. That was the caption in the corner box.
Yes. But yeah, the Starforgers are working. You know, with your report coming in, the Starforgers are starting to wonder if the tattoos may designate their powered individuals. Because if that dead guy from the first attack, if he was the one doing the teleportation, that explains why they can't find any teleportation technology on the ship. Which is kind of a shame. They were really wanting some good teleportation technology.
Well, the different tattoos might also designate different power sets too.
Yeah, it's a little early to say that for sure, but that's certainly one theory.
I suppose we'll need a few more corpses just to double check.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I can do that.
Rudan would really like a live example.
I have a net gun.
All right, so like I said, later that day you're gonna have a big meeting, not unlike you had last time. Though this time you're not expected to be in there the whole time. You'll be called in to not testify, but present your, basically present your report and answer, any specific questions delegates might have. Is there anything y'all want to do during the rest of the day? I take your silence for a no.
I will assist Eve in his search for the Maniac Star.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is something I'd be open to discuss with the rest of the group yet, since I don't really know you all that well, and I don't even know myself what this all means. If there is,
were we not? Was I not anywhere near the conversation? When the first person freaked out.
No, because I had the information I discovered was a result of Eve checking out I guess the data library at the lodge on it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully we'll figure out a way for everyone else to find out about this soon, because I don't want this to be one of those things where Eve just kind of like angsts over it on his own without everyone else getting a chance to get involved. Eve would, for now, like to try to find. Was it a young girl alien that?
Yes, I believe so, or youngish lady anyway.
Youngish. Yeah. Eve can't really think of a good, safest, least stressful way to approach her. So I guess Eve would just keep looking forward to see if Eve can get a chance to talk with her.
I don't know though. I gotta say, I like the ideal of Eve kind of moping over this stuff. I'm picturing it with like black hair combed over to one side. It's Eve, but the emo nebula.
Yeah, the gas is just turned stark black, and everything else.
It's kind of spiky a little bit.
Man, I could stretch. I could probably power stunt that.
I'm just picturing.
Eve doesn't have eyes, but he still puts the eyeshadow just right here on the face.
I'm just picturing a nebula contemplating, what's the point?
Exactly.
Okay. So Eve is trying to find that individual. Give me... would it be intelligence or awareness if you're searching through databases and stuff?
If it's databases, I go with intellect.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So yeah, as you search for this woman, give me two rolls. Give me the intellect roll for any data searches you might do, or awareness if you're literally walking around the station looking for her or other people like her.
Honestly, Eve would probably be more inclined towards the awareness approach.
Towards which one?
Just looking around.
Okay. I'll give me an awareness roll then. Okay, D6s, not D20s. That's the important part. All right. Ooh, so it's a 9 and a 9. So that is a marginal success. At one point during the day, you think you see a man, or at least from the back, it strikes you as masculine, possibly of the same species as the young lady. But you see him at the distance just as he's kind of going around a corner, and then you lose. By the time you get up to that corner, you don't see him anymore.
Okay. Well, I think I know what Eve's next step will be whenever Eve gets a chance to do that.
Okay. but eventually you're called in to the big council meeting. This time, instead of sitting at the hunter's table, y'all go up to this little center platform area, kind of out in the middle of all the people sitting. And it's just 2 or 3 of the representatives that actually do any talking to you. But clearly the questions have clearly been assembled from everybody. They've still got people researching or digging through all the invasion footage you brought. 'Cause there's quite a lot of that because it was from body cams of soldiers all over the place and, recordings from the ships. I mean, there's just hours and hours and hours of this stuff. But they quiz you about stuff the last emperor had said, what his personal experience was. They do question you about the whole tattooed thing, and get you to specifically describe the powers of the individuals you fought. Even though one of them, I don't think he knew what his powers were. I don't think he ever had a chance to show you.
He died super fast.
His head was very explodey. I guess that was a power.
And that could be a power.
We engaged with the opponent with the idea of ending the opponent's life, and we did it properly.
It was quick. Nobody suffered. They seem to be a little disturbed by the number of powered individuals that this invasion force had. Let's see. I'm going to say Ebe would notice them first. And then probably Muckboot, just because of his freakish awareness. He does have a freakish awareness, doesn't he?
His awareness is certainly above normal.
I may be. Go ahead.
His coordination is a 10. His awareness is a 6. So superhuman, but not like godly.
No. 7 is technically superhuman. 6 is
sorry.
like he's as aware of any average person could be.
Yeah,
or any normal person.
He is a trained hunter, so his awareness is very good, but not superhuman. The only thing he has that's superhuman is coordination.
Okay, I was getting confused with one of your other characters. Then I forget somebody had a really, really high awareness.
Unison had a really high awareness.
Yeah, okay, that's the one.
You need me to roll though?
Yes, because I know you saw Eve interacting with this person. I guess I should probably roll you a difficulty. So yes, Eve, you notice the Zeta Nun kind of standing. She's not in the stand or in the delegate seating area, but there's other people in here too. Either lower ranking delegates or assistants or stuff that are kind of back against the walls and close to the door. Though while some of these questions are going back and forth, you suddenly notice Zeta Nun is back there, standing in amongst the crowd. A little bit after that, Muckboot, you would spot them just because I know for sure you saw Eve talking to them.
Yeah, I greeted them as well.
Did you? Yeah, you did speak directly to them. And this is the first time you've seen Zeta since whenever that last encounter was.
It would have been during the last the last
Yeah, right before the last meeting.
Yeah.
And a little bit during.
But dressed the same in the black and white outfit with the kind of clock arm Earrings. Eve, you think she looks a little or they look a little concerned.
Okay, Ebe would like to make Ebe's way over to them.
You're on the platform being interviewed by these people.
Oh, right, that's right.
Nothing's physically stopping you from just, they're just talking, yakety, yakety, yak. You just turn and you just walk off the platform. Nothing, armed guards aren't keeping you there.
Yeah, now that you mention
It'd be very rude.
Well, it would be very rude, but on the other hand, it's not like Ebe is. I presume Ebe's not directly delivering the report.
They have specifically asked you a question or two here or there, but most of the talking is probably being done by Mukboot.
Perhaps Ebe would assume that Ebe's entity status. Ebe might be able to just pass it off as, oh, Ebe's so eccentric. He just walks off. You know how poor people are crazy and rich people are eccentric. That sort of vibe.
Mm-hmm. We really just Ebe's like bored now.
Yeah, exactly. But Ebe does legit want to meet with Zeta because Ebe is fully aware of how clued in Zeta. Presumably, of course, that Zeta is what they present themselves to be. They are kind of crucial to, or at least a crucial source of intelligence, or at least getting a general sense of how messed up everything is right now. Plus, he's got his own drama to unload as well, so he will go ahead and approach Zeta.
As Eve turns and just starts walking off, the specific delegate that was talking he starts to trail off. He's got at least look on his face like, where is he going? But then he catches his train of thought and kind of forces his attention back to Mukboot and is asking,
We could cover for him. It's like, Ebe is hungry. Ebe must consume.
Worlds tremble when Eve gets hangry.
I'm looking for my herald. What's on the menu today?
But yeah, you start walking towards this little group of people, and the people start partying like, until it's just Zeta Nunn standing there.
Greetings. Oh wait. Greetings.
Zeta just kind of nods. Acknowledgements.
Eve hopes that we have not warranted your direct involvement. Knowing, of course, that would mean we've really screwed the pooch if they have to get involved.
It's not you specifically, it's it's there's a pivotal moment coming, and I don't know if interfering here is going to be good or bad. Either way can lead. There can be repercussions either way. If I don't do anything, well, then everybody here is going to die. And that leads to a certain set of problems that could lead to the thing that I've got to avoid. On the other hand, if I warn you all, and maybe not everybody dies, that could lead, the repercussions could lead over this way, where the same event I'm trying to stop could happen just from somebody else doing it.
Oh. Who would be more likely to succeed in doing that?
I don't know. It's kind of, it looks like it's going to be down to the wire either way.
Perhaps Eba may provide some clarification, or perhaps simply be a receptacle for you to bounce your ideas off. Eba is quite flexible, and then he stretches around a bit.
That's adorable. But you haven't even figured out who you are yet.
Eve was hoping you wouldn't realize that, but I guess
I don't think.
there's no fooling.
They're like, wait a second, when am I currently? And they seem to focus on something that you can't see. No, you don't know who you are yet.
So much. I guess even being full of hot air can't fool a cosmic observer.
Well, you're like a baby cosmic being fooling the mortals. Now you're talking to another cosmic being, so it's kind of like,
As Zeta Nun mentions that Eve doesn't even know who Eve is yet, Eve was hoping to speak with you about that. Perhaps after the meeting?
Well, the meeting's about to come to a very sudden end.
Oh, well, all the better then. Eve hopes that such a conversation would not lead to one of the two factors doing the thing that they don't wish to happen. He's trying to pass off the cosmic awareness speech.
Finally, they give you a sort of searching look. Go warn your friends. There's about to be an attack. They're going, they're going to just suddenly teleport in there. And she points to a specific spot in the floor.
Eve stretches, points towards there, and says, "Attack imminent."
The security guys are just on the move, going to their specific delegates and.
Muckboot immediately pulls his rifle out and preps it for that exact location.
You wouldn't have walked up in front of everybody with your rifle?
This is my house. These are my rules. I will carry a gun in my own house. I'm allowed. This is my hunting lodge. Fuck all y'all. My gun.
Oh, Muckboot.
See, I'm picturing Muckboot having to place it like on the Hunters Guild table, and then walk up there. So an attack here. You just turn towards the table, and Duke's already got the gun in his hand, hurling it towards you.
No. You have to remember, I have the pull glove.
Oh,
literally only works to pull the gun to me.
That's right. So you just kind of snap a finger, open a hand, and the gun flies to you.
I literally because this was a custom-made character, I used points to make a device to pull the gun to me.
Fair enough.
I could actually honestly see members of a hunting lodge keeping their weapons with them because they'd be pretty proud of them, I would think.
And keeping a device that if a creature knocks the gun out of your hand, you just pull it back.
It's very specialized.
We've fought enough intelligent creatures to know they like slapping guns out of hands. So we just have a glove that pulls the gun back.
Rhinon is gonna turn to Muckboot and ask, "Do you have a backup pistol on you?" Very much not in his mech.
How far away would you have kept the mech? Is it going to be on the ship or?
Probably gonna be on the ship or any sort of a maintenance bay.
Okay. Then yeah, you're out of luck there.
It doesn't take anything for me to draw my sword.
Well, aren't you special?
Well, take a pencil and a piece of paper.
All right. When he hears you say that, Duke pulls a pistol out of his, I guess, belt, harness, whatever he's wearing, whatever stone people wear, and tosses it to you.
I catch it and thank him profusely.
And give yourself a determination point, since you being without your suit is essentially trouble.
Thank you, sir.
I'm not saying you may need it in the few coming moments.
Quite possible.
So the room is almost clear when there's suddenly a small blue ball of light just appears in the air at the spot where Zeta Nun had pointed. Zeta Nun has vanished in all this rigmarole. when the, like I said, small ball of light starts off about fist size, and then quickly swells up, big enough that the bottom of it sinks into the floor, so you're kind of left with this hemisphere look. And then when that dissipates, there are 4 individuals standing there. 3 of them are the species that you've already encountered. 1 woman and 2 men. And then 1 is some sort of insectoid race, the same one that you saw in the footage from the invasion over at Amberstan.
Only 4, huh?
That's all you see.
That's bold.
But so they look mildly surprised at how empty the room is. And they see obvious armed combatants, So if you want to give me initiative rolls, now would be the time.
Oh, twist my arm, why don't you?
I'm gonna roll actual dice just to be quicker with my 4. Should have rolled these in advance now that I think about it.
Gosh, I rolled a 1.
Wow. That's gonna be the lowest. That's gonna be the lowest initiative Muck Boots ever had.
I'll go first, please.
All right, hang on a second. All right, she got
Maybe second.
All right, that was her. He got a 8. He got a 9. And he got a... Uh-oh, somebody tied McBoot anyway.
Oh, jeez. What did they roll, a 2?
No, they rolled a 5. But that means your baseline coordination is higher, so I'll let you go first. So top of the order is going to be Muckboot. Followed by the bug guy. Let's see, what did y'all get?
And just to clarify, is there anything that's supposed to be visible for me right now?
What do you mean visible for you right now?
Like on screen? Are there supposed to be icons or anything?
On roll 20, no.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
It's black for me.
Yeah, I was just making sure. We've had accents before where you meant to reveal something and didn't quite reveal right.
Well, now y'all should be seeing the planet y'all were on last time on the roll 20.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's just at the top of that is a black screen. If you scroll down, you see the planet.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Where was I at? Oh, yes, 9s. Okay, so Silver Shooting Star got a 9. Bloodthorn got a 9. And 2 of the other attackers have gotten 9s. Bloodthorn, what is your coordination?
My coordination is 4.
Okay. Silver Shooting Star, what is your coordination?
My coordination is 5.
Okay. And then the lady, her coordination is also 5. And that guy's coordination is a 6. So Muck Boot on an 11.5, Frenzy on an 11, Gaze on a 9 point. Followed by a Silver Shooting Star. Followed by Bloodthorn. Alright, then after all the 9s, is the last guy. Let's see. Alright, who am I missing here? One. Put that one in the wrong order, I see. You can tell I'm very organized, very, very organized. Alright, so Bloodthorn. Then Sunslinger, okay. And then bringing up the rear, I believe, is Ebe on a 6. And the miscellaneous NPCs will go last, because I don't feel like rolling for all of them. Alright, but these people have appeared in front of you.
I will. Are they clearly dressed like the soldiers of the, you know, the invading force?
Yes.
I'll go ahead and fire off the Grand Hunter's rifle with a binding effect.
Okay. Which one are you trying to bind?
I guess the one that looks unique. Because you said 3 of them look like what we've seen before in the insectoid.
Yes, you have a female, 2 men of the, we'll call it the baseline species of the invaders, and then one kind of insectoid, some kind of insectoid species. 3 of them are in green, 1 of the men is in red rather than green. And there's a couple other little fancier bits on the uniform. So you kind of assume the red coat is a higher ranking or something?
Alright, I will fire a binding at the one with the red coat.
Okay.
While stating that I believe it would be in your best interest for you ruffians to leave. Firing off a 12.
Alright. And that's versus his coordination. Oh, he's particularly good. I mean, probably not muck boot good, but
Alright, close enough.
yeah, he got an 11.
Like, didn't quite succeed, but real close.
So that puts him in a partial hold. He can take actions at a -2. He cannot move from that location. No, he does not take the -2 on escape actions, but anything else he tries to do. Alright, next up is the Bug. He dives towards your the little platform I was standing on. And I mean, I say little platform, it's a little raised area. It was like 2 little steps to get up to. And then it's got like kind of a handrail, decorative handrail thing kind of around that. But he has no problem leaping over that. As he leaps, he had kind of humanish hands. I mean, different number of fingers, but he had hands. But as he leaps, they sort of morph out into more like mantis claws.
Interesting.
And his mouth opens, and he doesn't have lips. He's got like 2 little sets of mandibles that when they splay open, then his mouth is open. But he seems to be like yelling or screaming, although it's kind of a shrill noise that's actually coming out.
Lovely.
And he is specifically leaping at Muckboot, because old Muckboot is the one that opened fire. So this is prowess. So give me an old prowess roll there, Muckboot.
Oh, goodness. That's not one of his specialties.
12 is the number to beat.
Yeah,
Ooh.
nah. Got an 8. I mean, there ain't nothing to do against a max roll.
Alright, so that is a massive success. You take 4 points. No, wait. I'm looking at his resistance, not his. Sorry. You take 7 points of damage.
Ouch.
That's a lot.
And give me a strength roll versus the damage of his attack, because this is a killing attack.
Got a 5.
He got an 8. So that is a major success. Let's see, on a major or massive, reduces the target's stamina to 0 and renders the character unconscious. On the following page and each page thereafter, the character loses a level of strength. When strength falls below 0, the character dies. So y'all see Muckboot go down. He pins one guy to the floor, and then he gets attacked by this monstrosity.
Yo.
Next up is another one of the baddies. And this one is... this is the other male that's not in red. And he is like not wearing a... Well, he's wearing one of the helmets, but it doesn't have the face plate in it. And he is going to attack... let's see. He starts moving to one side, kind of swinging around the platform, like, the direction he'd have to go to kind of get to the doors. But while he's doing that, he looks over at you and his eyes start to glow, and he fires, I'm going to say at Eve, because Eve's probably the biggest target standing there. So give me a coordination roll there, Eve. Ten is the number to beat. Alright, that is a massive success. The blast does 7 points of damage.
And was that the red shirt that blasted me?
No, this is a green. This is a guy in green.
Okay.
The red one is the one that got pinned down by Muckboot.
Right. Sorry.
And then give me a strength roll versus the damage he did, because he is firing a... his blast has a slam effect on it.
Okay, so fortunately, does my density strength bonus still kick in?
Yes, that would kick in. Yes.
Phew. All right.
These guys are brutal.
Yeah, no doubt.
13 is the number to beat.
Okay, let me. I'm inventing a new roll for Ebe strength.
Plus dexterity or dexterity.
Including density. So that's going to be strength plus 6. Oh, here we go. Yeah, here we go. I missed it by 4.
All right, so you are definitely slammed, and And I don't think how bad you miss it really matters. Major or massive. Sends target flying to the next range, typically from close to extended. What is the material strength of these walls? So yeah, you go flying through some of the delegate seating. You hit the wall of the chamber and you go through into the neighboring hallway.
How much damage does he take?
Just the attack damage.
Okay.
The blast did 7 to you.
7.
You know,
Okay.
minus your damage reduction.
Yeah. Fortunately, I do resist that, but I'm definitely knocked for a loop, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
Do I take any? Is there any chance of taking damage from the impact of the wall?
No, it doesn't do any extra damage.
Okay. But it looks cool.
Right.
Looks nasty.
Oh, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the blast did 7 points of damage to you. How much damage reduction do you have with your density?
8.
8. Okay. You resist 8 damage. It only did 7. So never mind. It doesn't have the chance to slam you because not any damage got through.
Okay.
It has to do at least 0 or a positive number. You know, if it ties your damage reduction, it can still potentially slam you. You know, it doesn't hurt you, but it can still knock you around. But if you resisted 8, he only did 7. Yeah, you just sit there and just tank it. He don't look too happy about that. Silver Shooting Star.
I am going to shoot the scary mantis man in the face.
All right. He seems to be slipping into a frenzy, so this is probably a good idea. All right, so that is an 8 versus his coordination. So he got a 5. You rolled an 8. That's a major success.
And you'll have to tell me how much damage the pistol does.
The pistol does 6 points of damage.
Alright.
And it's a big, bulky pistol. This is not like, O'Doot didn't. He didn't throw you a holdout piece. It's like, he pulled out like his sidearm, hand cannon and tossed it to you.
Does it seem to do any appreciable damage?
All right, 6 points. It draws some blood. It burns. It leaves a noticeable burn mark. You hear the creature kind of hiss in pain and pull back, and his 2 big bulbous compound eyes focus on you.
Yeah.
It's like 1,000 little eyes all focused at you. They all look pissed. Next up is it's atmosphere case. Ah, yes. All right, next up, the lady is going. You see her hands spark up with electricity. Or some sort of energy. It's arcing like electricity, so you assume electricity. Superhero world, who knows what it actually is. And then as she starts, let's see. She is heading out to, she's heading towards the door the delegates went through. And as she runs, the electricity spreads from her fists and seems to coat her entire body. You have a few kind of random armed guards trying to get in her way, and she just kind of plows into them. And you hear a noise a lot like imagine a really big bug zapper sound. Think of when a big bug hits one of the bug zappers. And the guards just kind of go flying off, leaving little trails of smoke.
Hope it doesn't smell like those bugs ever smell after they've nailed a poor insect.
It's okay, Eve doesn't have a nose. But yeah, she makes it to the door. So she's being around going through the door.
$10 says that's an aura.
Bloodthorn, it's your turn. You can go find out.
Yeah, I think I'm really tempted because she's going after the delegates. But I think that's an aura, and that's just not going to work for Bloodthorn at all. Plus, the Mantis guy has been the biggest threat so far. And he managed to jump in the middle of us, so he's in melee range already.
He is.
So, I'm going to make the Mantis guy really mad at me, and I'm hoping we've got some people with ranged attacks that can go after the girl. So I will use my fast attack and go after Mantis twice.
Okay. And that is... Yeah, it's still coordination to hit because you're basically poking him with mental energy swords or whatever. Okay. So, prowess. Oh, plus his martial arts. Alright, so the first one hits. And the second one hits.
And
that is your energy drain.
Yes. Let me get my mouse to the... Well, I'm switching screens. It doesn't always like it. Let's try that. Versus his willpower.
Okay. Ooh, he got a 6 on his willpower roll because he rolled minimum. So you beat him by 7. That's a massive success. I don't think that does anything extra with the energy drain, though.
I don't think so.
All right. So how many ranks of energy drain do you have?
8, but it's 9 since I got him twice.
Gotcha. And that is going to bypass his damage resistance.
I'm not sure if it was a literal psychic sword from the mental powers, it would. I don't know if energy drain actually does.
Yeah, I don't think it. I think energy drain. Let's look it up. Let's see. Energy drain. Yeah, damage resistance does not help you with energy drain.
Oh, okay.
Now, in the case of yours, if you ran into somebody with mental resistance, like the psychic, you were fighting last time, that's why you were having such a hard time with him.
Yeah.
But this guy's just, this guy's a physical fighter. His powers are largely physical based. So yeah, you just kind of drain him. He's just kind of sitting there exhausted. Enemy clearly laid a wallop on him. He just kind of staggers back. Catches his, plants one of those bandit's claws into the handrail to catch himself. Or else he might have fallen back over the thing.
Is he still up?
He is still up, though. He is still up.
He's a tough bugger.
Tisk. Alright. Then it is the fellow that Muckboot pinned to the ground. Let's see. Now, he's pinned to the ground by some kind of net, correct? Taylor.
Yes, it's essentially just a net gun.
Okay. Alright, then he is going to try to escape, but he's going to be trying to use his firepower to destroy the net. Which is still going to be you rolling a d6 plus the material strength of the net, which is equal to the rank of the snare power.
Alright. Is currently an 11.
Alright, he rolled minimum, so the net is holding up under his onslaught. And then it is Eve, the Living Nebula's turn.
Eve will approach the electric green raider, and Eve will say, "You interrupted a very important conversation. Eve does not appreciate that." And with that, he will try to punch her.
Okay.
Now that I did give Eve a 1 specialty level in martial arts. I presume we had a minor achievement from the last issue.
Yes, you would have.
Excellent. Let's see if this does any good, and let's hope that I don't get zapped in the process. Oh dear. Well, I rolled a 5.
Alright, and this is her prowess.
Gonna have to hit those gym lessons some more. Oh yeah.
She got a 10, so she gets out of your way.
Does she have any witty repartee to share?
The utterances of dead men are not important.
Who are you calling a man?
The delegates that were talking? Alright, and then that is then we go back to the top of the order. Muckboot, you lose 1 strength.
Alright, so I need to ask a question.
Alright.
Can my regeneration save me from this? I'm able to regenerate once every 10 pages. For its rank power. Am I able to use it in this moment, being unconscious?
Right. Okay, regeneration lets you recover stamina equal to your power level every 10 pages. Additionally, if you use an advantage to recover, see advantage in the basics, you regain the higher of your strength or willpower or regeneration level. You also recover lost strength equal to your regeneration each week. So yes, I believe it would. And even if you didn't have regeneration, you could burn a hero point or determination. Top quality burn determination and just regain either your strength, your willpower, or your regeneration, whichever is higher in points. You can do that like once a day, I think. It really doesn't say exactly when the regeneration kicks in. So if you wanted to kick in now, I'd say it could.
It'll kick in, I'll gain 2 points of stamina.
But it kicks in enough that you're stable and conscious again. Now you would have fallen prone, so it'll take you an action to stand up. If you wanted to shoot from the floor, I'd probably just give you a -2 or something.
I will shoot from the floor. Alright, is the insectoid thing still up?
Yes, he is still. He's braced against the handrail. You don't know what hit him, but it looks like something hit him.
A lot more is about to hit it. I'm killing it.
But you need to take some alive, remember?
The one with the net on him will be alive. This thing's dying.
It's almost like he stabbed you or something.
He really took that personal. Man's just a soldier doing his job. Calm down.
From the floor, I fire at a 14. I rolled a 16, but the -2.
All right, so that's this be coordination. He got a 10.
It's a good roll.
Yes, it is, but you still beat him by 6, so. So you hit him center mass. He goes flying over the railing. You hear him hit the floor on the other side. Roll a d6 plus the damage versus
9.
his strength. Oh, and how much damage? How many points of damage was that?
6 points of damage.
All right. So only that gets in. Okay. So only 2 points that actually got over. So it'd be the d6 roll plus 2. So what did you roll? Let's see. So you rolled a 3 plus 2 is 5. Oh well, either which way. So he hit the other side. He is clearly out. You don't know if he's actually dying or not.
Fair enough. And for my prone position, I'll go. Do you put that one on the board of times I've died?
Was that the bug that you got?
Yes.
Yeah, it is now laying off the platform a little bit on the ground. You hear a dude has basically turned the guild table over and is taking cover behind it. It's been noted. So how many times does Muckboot have listed that he has died?
Only a handful, but like it's known. Yeah, he got mauled to death by this thing, and we were hunting it, and then he just got up and shot it. He went, and then walked back to the ship.
All right, after Muckboot, it is the frenzying insect guy's turn. He also has regeneration.
Don't like that.
Well, put some stank on that noise.
So he hit the ground. He was laying there smoldering for a second, and then just all of a sudden, he stands back up. You know, he's next to the platform. So he is going to try to stab Muckboot through the handrail.
Kiro look at the bug and be like, "You're gonna be a problem."
Wait, hold on. He can stand up and take an action? How fast is this man?
Oh, that's fair. You're right. Standing up is the action. My bad. I forgot. That's the whole reason why you didn't stand up.
You're prone, but my bug boy, he's just built different.
Maybe he is.
You could give McBoot a termination point. Not to be a devil's advocate. Sorry, McBoot, but that just occurred to me.
Oh, that's true. Taylor, would you like a hero point or a termination point for some trouble?
No.
Well, let's just encourage Jason to kill Taylor's character.
No, because I can only regenerate 10 pages from now. 9 pages from now.
Oh dear.
8 pages. Do we hear 8 pages?
Like, I only have a strength of 4. I gotta wait 6 more pages before I can die again and make it back. I gotta space these out.
Okay. So yeah, he stands back up. Looking better than he did after Bloodthorn's attack, truthfully. You can see the rents in his exoskeleton have sealed up partially. He's still heavily damaged. Then after him, it is the guy that shot at who did he shoot at last time? The guy with the eye beam. Oh yeah, he shot Eve, and Eve just kind of took it on an arm or whatever. And he's over there. He's over there by the door, close to. Well, he didn't quite get to the door, so it's Eve basically ran past him, getting to the chick. So the two of them are on either side of Eve at the moment. But he runs past the two of you out into the hallway. Because, it's one of them big, like, 2-door setups, oversized doors at that, so there's lots of room. Eve, you see the guy's eyes start glowing as he runs past you, and he just runs out in the hallway, and you hear another one of those beams cut loose, and then you hear kind of screams in the hallway.
I knew I should have just went straight for blocking the entrance. Wait, there's more than one entrance, right? Or is there? Was there only one entrance?
There's the one main entrance that kind of anybody uses, and then there's some side doors that the delegates actually file back into.
Oh, well, still, I could have stretched and covered all the exits. I should have done.
But those are kind of behind where the delegates are sitting.
Okay.
So they were not immediately obvious to these guys that teleported in.
Okay. Yeah. Oh well. Is it Eve's turn or? Right.
That was Gaze. Silver shooting star.
I am going to put a little bit of distance between myself and the mantis.
So
towards the. Go ahead. Oh, I'm sorry.
I was going to say you're going to hop off the platform and have it between the two of you, but then you were telling me where you were actually going. So.
Yes. Basically, with my back towards the door the delegates ran out of, and gonna try and pop a shot off into the guy.
All right. So you were shooting Mantis. You were shooting Mantis Man.
Yes. And boop. Oh.
Coordination is a 4. He got a 9.
All right.
So nothing special, but a solid hit. How much damage does that do? Oh, 6. It was 6. Yeah. So 2 gets through. He takes it. He is still up. He does not look happy. Y'all are hurting him faster than he can heal it. Next up is oh yes, our sparkly lady. Eve, she does not seem to be overly enthused with the idea of fighting you. She moves out of the hallway. Let me make sure she's got the power I think she's got. Yes. That energy arcing around her, it brightens, and the field around her expands just slightly, and then she launches off into the air. So she's flying over the heads of the crowd in the hallway, because you're talking 15, 20-foot corridors in this part of the lodge. It's very swanky looking. But she's flying all kind of the opposite way that the guy with the eye beams went. He seems to be just causing damage, just like she's got somewhere to be. Bloodthorn.
I hate for all of us to gang up on Mantis, but I'm better suited to fight him than I am someone who's flying.
What about the poor civilians in the hallway getting shot by Eyeboy?
There's that.
But no, whatever your character would think is the strategically most advantageous thing to do, it's fine. She might not care about miscellaneous folks.
Well, she's certainly not a warm, fuzzy person. They'll look at Muckboot. It's like, could you two handle Mantis?
Did you just bloody ask me if I can handle the mantis? As I'm laying on the floor bleeding.
Okay, I'll
I literally just said I died and came back. Like the bloody son of Christ. And you're going to ask me if I can handle him twice.
You came back. That's pretty damn impressive. I'll use fast attack on Mantis again. Maybe we can get him out of the way.
Alright, so this is... Alright, this is his prowess and his martial arts. It's a tie, so you're only getting half your effect from your energy drain.
Well,
so...
the first one was an 11.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was looking at the 10. So yeah, so you beat the first one. And the second one is an 11, which beats the 10. So one of them hit.
Yep. So I got one.
So now it's your 8 ranks versus his willpower.
Yes.
He got a 6 because he rolled his minimum. So what are you getting? Alright, so you subtract... Well, you subtract the 3 points he's got left, he goes down again. He is clearly not dead. I mean, he's like breathing heavy. This is more like an exhaustion effect is how I'm picturing it, because you're draining like vitality and life energy out of him. So yeah, he crumbles to the ground unconscious, see.
Maybe Muckboot can shoot his head off next round or something.
Well, he's out, so you know that might be a little cray-cray. All right, so that was Bloodthorn. The fire guys, you want to try to escape again? So roll. Taylor, roll the material strength for Muckboot's net. 10 is the number you need to beat.
It's a 7. Cause wow, I've rolled pretty low today. I think that's my third one.
So yeah, this time he finally manages to melt enough of the net that it weakens enough that he's able to throw it off. And then for his movement, he launches into the air and is flying towards the door. You know, he takes off in like a burst of flame. Think like how the Human Torch flies, where there's like flame jutting out behind him. Now he only gets as far as the door. He does not actually get out of the hallway. Then it is Eve, the Living Nebula.
Could Eve run in pursuit of Electric, but also throw a punch at Gaze with his stretching ability?
Sure, you step out of the hallway, you throw your punch. You know, even as you're turning to run, you know, the arm is stretchy, so, you know.
Yeah. That's what I was hoping for. Not that Eve has a great chance of hitting, but it's got to connect one of these times, right?
But yeah, you can throw your punch at him and then run after the woman.
Yeah.
Let's see, how fast is she moving? Go ahead and make your attack roll.
Sure.
Speed.
Yeah, Eve smash. Oh, I'm getting better. I'm increasing ever so slowly.
Alright, so you rolled an 8, and he rolled an 8. Which means you connect. It's a tie, so he takes half your strength in damage.
Which would be 4.
Alright, so he takes 4 points of damage. So yeah, you feel a good solid thwack, and he kind of stumbles forward as you clocked him in the back.
And Eve will hope that Eve's compatriots will come out and follow the fight out here, hopefully.
Miscellaneous NPCs. So Deut has turned his table over, taken cover behind there. Specifically because some delegates hadn't gotten out yet, so he's grabbed a couple of delegates and drug them down to hide behind the table. Muckboot, you know that pretty much all the tables in the hunter's lodge have reinforced tops specifically so they can be turned over for cover if needed. It's a hunting lodge, but a lot of them are kind of doom preppers too, so things always go bad eventually, so we just want to be ready.
Listen, when a laser gun misfires, it usually misfires multiple times. And there's a lot of laser guns in this place.
Let's see. You've also got you got the crowd out in the hallway. A lot of them, once energy blasts started flying, the ones that can run away. A lot of them just kind of drop to the ground and hit, hands over their heads. You've got more guards coming, but the hallways are crowded enough right now they're having trouble getting through. Because if they open a door to come in, people start trying to flood out that door. Top of the order, Muckboot.
There's still someone to shoot in this room, right? I don't have to get up.
Let's see. The electricity chick has flown the coop. Gaze, the gazer beam guy is it's an invincible, an Incredibles character in it. The I-beam guy's out in the hallway. The only person left in the room, the Mantis guy is down, and the fire guy is getting right to the door.
I'm gonna net gun him again, like a petty hail. It's a 12, because I'm still prone.
Oh crap! He's not the one with aerial combat. That was the other chick. All right, so he's got a good coordination if he'll just roll well. And he rolls well, but not well enough. So he got an 11.
Maybe.
He got 11. He did it a 14. That makes it a major success, which I believe on binding. Actually, I may have it on the DM screen here. And I believe on binding that puts it at. Let's see, binding. Major success, full hold, full material strength. So he is incapable of doing anything. The net basically envelops him and he drops to the ground. And now he is incapable of doing anything other than the escape action to try to get out.
Holding you better than my shirt's holding my internals right now.
The AI in your shirt is terribly offended. Hey, I'm keeping your intestines more or less where they're supposed to be.
Is that canon that Muckboot's shirt has an AI?
No.
No.
Such a thing would be possible with the universe's tech level, but it doesn't strike me as something Muckboot would bother with.
Maybe a ship? The Hound might have an AI. But my shirt, no. In Muckboot's words, God already exists. I don't need something else watching me all the time.
Alright, so next up is the bug guy who is unconscious. Muckboot, would you like a determination point?
I already died once. Why do you hate me so much?
I'm just asking.
I get the feeling Jason's rooting for the villains in this one.
You are free to say no.
Because you want to so bad, I will let you have this, whatever this trouble is. What is it?
Alright, give yourself a determination point.
Okay.
And I'm going to use that to give Bug Boy advantage. And he is going to get the higher of his strength, regeneration, or willpower back. Huh, and they're all exactly the same. Weird.
Did he not already do this once?
No, he used his power once. This is the second win thing that anybody can do.
Alright.
So he forces himself back up. Ugh. Shakes his big insect head. Squeeze a little bit at you. Or maybe at the universe in general, you don't know. With most species, you can pick out the swear words. You're not completely certain with insect shrieking, though. But that is his action to stand up. Can he still move? I can't remember if he still gets his movement. No, we're going to say he just stands up then. Out in the hallway, Gaze continues moving, which is just what I'm going to call the eye guy. He keeps moving down the hallway, the opposite way Eve and the electrical woman is going. He's still blasting people, but it's like he's literally using his eye beams to clear his path. So most of the crowd, people in the hallway are scrambling to one side or the other, opening a path in the middle. People cowering, people curled up on one side or the other out of his way, he's not paying any attention to. But anybody that doesn't get out of his way fast enough is getting blown out of his way. Silver Shooting Star.
Yes, sir.
It's your turn. Bug Boy is up again. The fire guy is once again netted, and those are the only two you can see from where you're at. You can run out of the hallway where you could potentially see a couple people.
If I go into the hallway, would I still be in range of shooting the bug guy?
Yeah, if you stood just outside the door, there would be you could see all the potential targets at that point.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, you run past the netted guy, bits of fire coming out of the nets as he's struggling with the nets. Are you with us, Zach? It sounded like you started to say something, then just died out.
Nah, yeah, that was all me.
Oh, okay.
All right, and who all do I see in the hallway?
All right, you see, like I said, a lot of cowering people. You see the I-beam guy running, we'll say, to your left as you step out into the hallway. You see Eve running to the right, and then much further down the hallway, you see the electrical chick. She's flying over people's heads. She's moving at a pretty good speed.
All right, for the I-beam guy, I actually want to give him the quality very annoyed with Silver Shooting Star. Just try and get his attention with this shot. So that way he's not just gonna, try and keep going on his merry way if this shot misses.
So it's like you're putting shots around him to get his attention.
Yeah.
All right, that's still going to be your coordination versus his.
Absolutely doable.
Let's see, his coordination is... he's got lots of specialties. Do any of them apply to this? Oh no, but he did have the one that should have applied to his initiative so well.
Oh,
12 is the number you need to beat. He rolled, so you rolled a 9, he rolled a 12. He kind of ducks his head, but he just keeps going the direction he's going. He is aware you're shooting at him, but you, I won't say you didn't annoy him, but you didn't cause him to lose focus on whatever it is he's trying to do. The electrical chick continues to pull away from you. Ebe. And she is just about, she's basically about to take a corner where she will be out of your view. Because this is a long stretch of hallway through this station. It's kind of like the main thoroughfare. You know, I'm saying hallway because it's a space station, but think of it as kind of like one of the main drags. At least right now with all the delegates and extra people here. But she's moving like car speeds, 40, 50 miles an hour. Or we're in space, they probably use metric, but... So Bloodthorn, you're up.
Is Gazer, if I ran after him in the hall, is he in range for me to make an attack? Or would it just be my action?
It would take you, if you wanted to catch up with him at this point, you would basically have to do your move, and then I guess use your action to kind of double move. I'd let you do that to catch up with him, but you wouldn't be able to attack him this round.
Okay, well I think I'm gonna go after the bug guy then. I guess I'm committed to him.
So much hate for the bug guy. What did he ever do to you? I mean, Muckboot, sure, but you.
He took Muckboot out in one round, or one page. That was pretty serious.
Muckboot's done that to all kinds of people.
Well, it's true.
Alright, so his prowess is a 5, but he's got martial arts, so 6. So your first shot hit, and your second one did not.
Okay.
Alright, so...
Energy drain. Ooh.
And that is 8 points.
Yes.
He goes down again. This time to stay down. Alright. After Bloodthorn, it is the fire guy will once again try to escape from another of these freaking nets. And you can hear the frustration in his voice. In fact, the various swears he's using, some of the translation software here in the room is kicking in to translate it. So that is he's using his firepower specifically to escape.
I'm glad all that the Starforgers are useful in letting us know how they're cursing us out.
Okay, so he only rolled an 8 on his escape. So Taylor, if you'll roll the material strength of the net.
Man, I really hope I don't roll a 1. Hey!
Close. Oh, so close. But no, the net is holding up. Much like the last one did. Apparently it's going to take him a couple of rounds to burn through it. Ebe, you're up.
Oh, buddy.
All right, so I'm still chasing after Electric. Oh, and would it be possible? Could he?
By this point, Ebe would be certain that he's not going to be able to physically catch up with her with just his usual running. Now he can stretch and all kinds of stuff. So.
Oh yeah. Now the question is, if I can figure out what she was looking for. I'm just looking up the different ways of using determination. Oh, okay. Here we go. The retcon ability to change some element of the story in an explainable way. No, that's just I don't think that actually covers what I want to do. I was hoping to figure out some way of like happening across some kind of like non-conductive material that I might be able to rip out and use strategically against electric, but I don't think that's quite what.
No, that's the kind of thing. That's the kind of thing. That's exactly what retcon covers.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't let you counteract something that I have specifically stated. Like if I specifically say there are no fire extinguishers in this hallway, you can't burn a point to have a fire extinguisher in the hallway.
Okay.
If I haven't said one way or the other, then you add that little something you want.
Could I, for example, retcon that there just happened to be some like electrical work going on that required a lot of non-conductive insulation in a particular area?
Yes, you could. That is exactly the sort of thing that this covers.
I think I would like to make it so then.
All right.
Point. And oh wait, what am I tagged? What am I?
And oh darn, they left a foam cannon behind.
Stump me. What quality am I tagging for such a thing? I don't know that any of mine are really all that applicable. That being living nebula full of hot air and wander for star crimes. The only thing I can think of is if you know, is it possible for me to read into? Is it possible to kind of like guess at the qualities of your opponents, and possibly tag that if you? Is that a thing that can happen?
Yes.
It's one of the more esoteric rules, I think.
Yeah, well, the rolls are just the same as you applying a quality to them, but it's you essentially guessing at what one of theirs is, or looking at what you've seen of her so far and kind of guessing at what one of hers might be,
Like
or deducing what I should say.
something along the lines of electric powered or shocking opponent or some such.
See, I would go with something like from the 80s. She's electric.
Yeah, exactly.
With like an exclamation point. Yeah.
It's Electro Woman.
Yeah, oh, and Dino Girl. So if would I need to make a roll to make that kind of like deduction, or is it? I know this is starting to get a little too meta, perhaps, but can I do that and then spend my determination point to tag that, and then say, oh, retcon, there happened to be.
Yes, you can roll. Roll your intelligence. Okay. If you have the technical specialty, that would factor in.
I do not, although that might be what I acquire with this week's minor achievement. Who knows? Intellect. Oh, okay. I generated a 6. It's entirely possible I just don't know how to do it. Like I don't know enough about simple physics.
All right, so it's a tie. You got a marginal success. Marginal can be a success or not a success. I'm gonna give this one to you just because it's obvious she's electrical.
Woogie,
So she's she's bound to have some kind of electrical based quality, which I'm just going to call she's electric.
Indeed. So I'll spend that determination point and retcon some convenient maintenance work going on.
There's a wall panel moved to one side. There's still a roll of non-conductive insulation next to it.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab that, and I don't know if a dice action would have to wait for the next page, but I'm gonna see if I can stretch up there and just kind of wrap her around that. Not that I'm very good at grabbing things, because again, clumsy containment suit. But it's a thought that counts.
It's something to attempt.
Yeah, something to fill up another page of Ebe action.
Page after page of Ebe action.
That's right. Non-stop ubiquity.
All right, back to the top of the order. Muckboot.
There's no one left to shoot in this room, is there?
Nope. Mantis is out, and the fire guy, he's still struggling, but he's still in the net.
I have to get up now, don't I?
You got nothing else to do? This would be a good round to spend an action doing that.
Kira will tell him, "Come on, old man."
I will laboriously stand up holding my tum-tum.
As you stand up, you feel every day of your 200 plus years of life.
I hate so much death. It feels so terrible to come back, but I know the other option's worse.
Alright, so that's Muck Boot. Bug Guy is out. Gazer is out in the hallways. Shooting Star,
Sir?
as you're firing him, so as you see that as he's running, he brings his arm up, hits something on his wrist, a display fires up, and he's still running more or less full speed, but he's kind of holding that arm.
Ah, he's got a map.
That is the first thing that occurs to you. You're far enough away you can't really see what's on it. It's kind of like blue, translucent, holographic display sort of thing. But and yeah, I mean he's just running full speed away from you.
Was that Gazer that Star's chasing?
He's the one that Star stepped out of the hallway and opened fire on.
Okay, great, thank you.
And then it's Silver Shooting Star's turn.
I am going to shout into the room that this one's got a map to somewhere, and somewhere has a map of the facility, and I'm going to bolt after him.
Okay.
Am I actually close enough to take the rush action?
Let me look up Rush, because he's been moving for a couple of rounds, so there's at least an area between you. And Rush,
36.
yeah, I want to say that's the one where you're just trying to plow into him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My flying brick character does that all the time. Well, he attempts it all the time. Let's see. Yeah, that one does not specifically give you any extra movement. And the movement is 130. Conveniently close by. In one patch is moving from extended to close. A character with movement's power can move faster, often much faster. Okay, give me an athletics roll. Be coordination athletics versus
I do not have athletics, so can I just make a base coordination?
Yes, base coordination. I'm just letting you know athletics would factor in.
Awesome.
Yaze has a coordination and an athletics. Ooh, and you tied. That is interesting. All right. So y'all are running pretty much the same speed. So you managed to cut the distance between you down, but you don't actually get close enough to him to tackle him.
That's fair.
Because he's had a round head start.
Yeah.
Alright, so that was Silver Shooting Star. Bloodthorn.
I am going to run out into the hall and try and catch up. I know I won't do it this turn, but...
Okay. So basically, you've got Gazer in one area. Silver Shooting Star is that kind of next area back. and then you're kind of in the one behind. So y'all aren't like literally neck and neck, but y'all are all kind of running in a line.
Yeah, and I can't even see where Ebe and Electrowoman went.
Yeah, by this point she's probably gone around the hallway, and Ebe is probably
Yeah, I figured my only
in hot
option
pursuit.
was Gazer and Shooting Star.
Fire guy's gonna try to escape again. So Tyler, if you would roll the material strength for the net, you need to beat a 9 because the dice do not
You're
like
up.
this guy.
There's a 9. It has tied.
All right. So in this case, I'm going to say he does not escape, but he does drop it from a full hold to a partial, which still means he can't move. Leave from the location. But now, if he wanted to, I don't know, shoot fire at one of y'all, he could do so at a -2. Now it is Eve, the living nebula.
So now that I've got my handy dandy non-conductive sheet layer thing, I'm going to try to stretch up and see if I can envelop the
Okay.
electric radar.
That is going to be basically a wrestling roll.
Yeah. So I'm writing down wrestling on my list of specialties I'll probably want to add because after I fail this roll.
So yeah, you stretch. I'm going to assume you stretch the kind of the waist to try to catch up with their Mr. Fantastic style.
Yes, absolutely.
People in the hallway like, ooh.
That's right. It's the great even action.
You see,
Yes.
you see these little short guys, this little short species go, Ebe, as you go by.
But now Ebe will be the living nebula luchador.
Right. Well, I'm just gonna make a simple prowess roll. So
Imagine when Eve visits Earth and finds out about balloon animals. Ebe can do that.
if you thought I was impressive before. Once again, I failed to live up to my reputation.
Oh yeah, that's Ebe living nebula. He's very good with children.
That's right. Make a porcupine. I've only generated.
Philosophers consult him for his wisdom. Parents for their children's parties. All right. Sorry, I've gotten distracted on what I'm supposed to be rolling. Oh yes, wrestling. So this would be her prowess.
Yeah. Time for you to beat me here.
She does not have a great prowess.
Oh, okay. Well.
I mean, it's higher than yours. Let's not get too excited.
Doesn't take much.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Well, she's got aerial combat, but this is a wrestling roll, so I don't know that I have to even factor in.
I don't.
Oh, never mind. She aced the roll, though.
Not even close. Okay.
You could theoretically beat her, though, if you rolled higher and she rolled lower.
Sure. I might need to start. I might need to take on some trouble to keep to rack up my determination. Looks
That's
I'm gonna
possible.
Need some extra determination to win this fight.
But you get up to her and you're trying to wrap it around, and she's dipping and dodging, and you feel you make contact, but you're not shocked through the stuff you're holding.
Okay. Well, that's a good sign.
So you have at least discovered, okay, the insulating stuff is insulating enough to do what you were wanting it to do. All right, then we are back up to the top of the order with Muckboot.
I'll just do a blast into the fire guy, try to knock him out.
Okay. So this is a non-lethal shot, I assume.
Non-lethal shot, yes.
Okay.
Using the blasting effect
Gotcha.
rather than the gun effect.
Okay. So that's his coordination. All right, so you need to beat a 10. You beat it by 5. Massive success. How much damage do you do with the shot?
6 damage, but it's also, because it's a blast, it also will throw him across the room a little bit at a massive success.
All right. He has no damage reduction, so roll a d6 plus the full damage of the blast versus his strength.
It's a 10.
He got an 8. So yeah, he goes flying across the room, smacks into the wall, crashes to the ground.
Feel real bad about that.
Still wrapped up in the net.
For a guy that we assume is in charge, he really wasn't very impressive this fight, was he?
I almost died.
Maybe none of the leader guys were really kicking it.
He showed his expertise by assembling a very competitive group against us.
Yes.
He's still conscious. You still see him kind of moving in the ropes.
Hey, way to go, him. It's
No,
impressive not to.
the fire, the fire he generates as he hits the wall and falls and dims greatly, but then kind of lights back up. Then he has Gazer out in the hallway. As he is running around a corner, he turns and takes a shot at Silver Shooting Star because you're just the closest one to him.
Totally fair.
So give me a coordination. Yes, he does. And he does have a skill with this. So he rolled a 13, which is his max roll. You rolled a 6, which is your minimum roll. That's a good combination there. All right, you take 7 points of damage. You are not currently wearing any armor.
No, I am not. So that is, I have 2 points of health left.
Okay. Give me a strength roll because he has the smashing or the slamming on this because it's a blasting attack.
Right.
Versus the full damage.
Oof.
You fly back. Bloodthorn, you see Gazer turn around, his eyes flare up, just nails Silver Shooting Star and center mass. And you just hear, ugh, and he goes flying back past, and you kind of have to duck to one side as he, lands about where you were running. Because the slam would, knock you back an area, so. And then Gazer turns and, continues his run because he was just trying to make some space. All right, it was Gazer. Silver Shooting Star.
I'm going to stand back up.
You stand back up. Oh, your chest hurts.
So is it just a concussive blast?
His blast is just concussive.
All right.
It is like a force blast. We're talking about him blowing people out of the way. His beam is literally knocking the people out of his way when he uses it that way. It's not burning anybody or, I mean, some people aren't getting up from it, but that's just a matter of, enough blunt force trauma, All right, so that was... So Silver Shooter got up. Let's see. The electrical attacker. Trying to think of a way for her to try to get away from Eve.
There is no escaping Eve.
Apparently not.
Eve is inevitable.
Perhaps inevitable.
Even better. Or even better.
Eve knows when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. Eve watches at all times. Except when you're in the bathroom. Eve is not a creep.
Yeah. Eve's...
Eve watches you when you are in public places. Look, it's called cosmic awareness. There's nothing you can do about it. People never think about how creepy cosmic awareness could potentially be.
Although I'm still working up to cosmic. Remember, I dropped that to make room for living legend.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
Although I am aspiring to become cosmically aware, so EBIS, excuse me.
Well, no. You might be trying to be cosmically aware too. I don't know.
Fair point.
You may spend all kinds of time meditating in your private time, trying to become one with the universe or whatever. Anyway, so she is going to. She starts ducking into side rooms, another corridor. She's basically trying to shake your pursuit. Because your legs are running way behind her by this point. But the rest of you's right up there on her.
Exactly. This can't be. Yeah, this is going to be a little tricky, isn't it?
So we're going to do. Let's see, opposed coordination checks.
Okay. Oh boy.
Or she's going to be rolling coordination to try to get away from you. I think Eve should be rolling awareness because you're trying to keep up with where she's at.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Awareness away.
Ooh, she maxed out her roll with an 11.
Yo, I generated an 8.
So that's a major success.
Yeah, sounds pretty good for her.
She ducks around one tight corridor, and when you round the corner, you see a couple of different ways she could have branched off, and you're not entirely certain.
Oh, if only I could do the thing where I just split my. Well, I guess now at this point, do I? Well, when it's my turn on the page, I'll see if I can pull some funky stretching stuff We'll see.
You might be able to pull a power stunt to get around this.
Yeah. Not that I have any determination. I'll have to take on some trouble for that, but that's something that can be done. There's plenty of trouble to be had here.
Bloodthorn.
I will continue to pursue Gazer.
All right, give me a coordination. Athletics adds into that if you've got it.
I do not.
Gazer does. Both of you max the rolls, but you got an. Oh no, wait, I'm sorry. I was looking at my last two rolls. So 13 was the number for you to beat, and you rolled a 5. So you fail to catch up with. I mean, you're still moving forward, but he's keeping that that distance between you.
I'm so far behind him. But I'm going to keep on trying.
The fire guy is laying on the floor. He sticks a hand out of the net and fires at Muckboot.
Uh-oh.
It's you get the impression this is pure frustration.
Oh,
All right. So his coordination is a 6.
Else, I'd be worried.
He's got the expert level of the specialty, so that's +2 with his power. However, he is prone, so I'm gonna give him the same -2 that I gave you. And in a partial hold, which gives him another -2. He rolled a 1 on the dice, which gives him a total of a 5. Does a Muckboot even need to roll?
If you had rolled max, he wouldn't have needed to. You got a 15.
All right, so you beat him by 10. Yeah, the blast just kind of goes off randomly. Like I said, you get the impression that's just a thing of frustration. More than he thought he could actually hit you, under all them circumstances.
Curse you, Muckboot.
Ebe.
East. So, there's 1 of 3 ways that Electric could have gone past. Is it possible to, if I take on some actually, I may even try to take on tactics to stretch into, to activate, let's say, full of hot air. Well, either full of hot air or living them. Well, probably full of hot air, because that's the nature of my stretching ability, and I'm just a bunch of hot air in a containment suit. And use that to if I extend myself in 3 different directions, am I able to I don't really have eyes, so can I actually perceive in each direction, does that in fact actually count as another superpower? Because it almost feels like it kind of should. What's your ruling on that?
Well, I don't know, because if you technically you could stretch your face out 2 different ways to go around the corner, and you'd have an eye in each one if you were, talking about like a regular person.
Could I do that in 3 directions? Even if it's just long enough to like confirm which way you look.
I would say that would be a power stunt.
Mm-hmm.
So you're taking on the trouble to earn the point, or to give you some advantage where you can.
Yeah. Well, looking at the rules, there's like if you, I think basically tactics is basically taking on some kind of trouble to activate something, to activate full of hot air in this case, for a power stunt.
Okay. So I would say you would need to power stun it, because otherwise that's kind of falling under.
Like some kind of sensory power.
Yeah. Makes sense within the power set, but until you buy the extra, it's going to be a power stunt.
Yeah.
All right, so that means.
What would I be taking for that? I imagine at the very least I'd be easier to hit, since I'm like literally focusing my focusing in three different directions at the same time.
There's qualities. I know there's a page labeled trouble. Where is that? Trouble.
I think it's like 20 something. Nope, more like 30 something. 34.
I just flipped past it when I was looking earlier today. Okay. Oh, that's right. I was looking for a hitter. All right. Let's see. Odds are, so you could take a challenge, a compulsion, a disability, increased difficulty, or a lost panel. The character loses a panel due to distraction and momentary stunning. I'm going to say a lost panel.
I like that.
So you'll know which way she went, but you won't be able to take any other actions this round.
Yeah, because I'll literally have to get myself together. So yes, I will do that, please.
All right. So yeah, there's no real role involved in this particular one. You're just power stunning.
I love the stretching tricks. Yeah.
So yeah, the part of you that kind of looks like your head, the lump on top, splits into 3 and flies around these different corners and down these different hallways. And then sure enough, you spot, where she's at, and those other 2 start retracting, and
Oh, okay. I missed some of your dialogue there. I presume I did find the proper direction.
Yes. Yeah, your video was stuttering a little bit there too. But yes. All I said was one of the U's. The 3 U's that go bending down these different hallways and corners. One of them spots her, and the other 2 kind of retract back. Like a rubber band.
I'll spend the next page shaking it off.
Yeah, but you know which way to go now. Your body is running to catch up at the top of your head now. It is a bizarre thing to see if you're one of the people in the corridor. Though she is getting off into side corridors now, so there's not as many people around. Much like I described with Gazer, you see that she's got one arm pulled up like this display thing going. And you're close enough to see, it's like hallways, and then there's like, a glowing dot moving down the hallways, and there's like another glowing dot that's stationary that the first one seems to be trying to get to. Eve's never been into a mall, probably, so he might not recognize the "you are here" kind of thing. But she's clearly following some kind of direction. And you can tell from the direction she's traveling, she seems to be getting deeper into the station. All right, Muckboot.
The fire guy's not unconscious yet, right?
No.
I'll pop another shot at him, make him unconscious.
Okay.
16. It's max roll.
-2 because you're firing at a prone target from range.
Oh, okay. 14.
I mean, it's probably not going to make any difference to him, but... his coordination... Nope, it didn't make any difference. Alright, so he goes unconscious. You have finally knocked him out.
Good, good.
To the relief of everyone in the room, which at this point is... you, Odute, and a couple of the... a couple of dignitaries that had not gotten out that Odute had pulled. As soon as he sees you take that guy out, he gets them up and he's moving them to one of the other exits. He calls over his shoulder. Good shooting.
Good cover.
Gazer out in the hallway. He does that quick look over his shoulder to fire a blasted bloodthorn. And you see that he is running up on like a turbo lift, basically. Let's see, coordination is 6. He has a skill with his power. Okay. Oh, so he only rolls an 8 to try to hit you. His eyes flare up, the beam shoots out, you just sort of duck your head to one side and keep going. Silver Shooting Star.
I am gonna follow after Bloodthorn.
Okay.
Just going full tilt.
Alright, so now he's there, there's an empty area, there's Bloodthorn in an area, and then there's Shooting Star behind her. Alright, so you're gonna spend your action trying to like just head down, catch up.
Yeah.
So coordination's athletics. Oh, so close. He got a 12, you got an 11. So he's keeping pace, you know, he's keeping the space between you. And you, like I said, you see him running toward, he's clearly running towards the turbo lift. What do you call a bank of elevators? There's more than the one turbo lift there, is all I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Alright, so that was Shooting Star. Eve, you see the electrical chick land. She is also at a turbo lift area. And you see her land, and there's a second of hesitation, and then she presses something on the panel.
That being the panel of the turbo lift, right? Not
Correct.
her hollow.
Correct.
Okay.
Bloodthorn. You're muted.
I muted myself, didn't I?
Yes.
If I'm not in range of Gazer, I'm gonna try to catch up with him.
All right. Coordination athletics versus his coordination athletics. He got an 11. All right. Fire guy is now out. All right, Ebe. You saw her land. She hit it. She's waiting on the door open. she's kind of half turned, so she's watching you come, and she's like waiting on the door to open.
Wouldn't this be the panel that I lost though? Because it was just the last page that I did the power stunt, so wouldn't this be the one that I lose?
Yes. Well, let's see. You power stunted.
Unless unless you wanted to give me some other kind of some other trouble.
Yeah, that's right, because the power stunt would have been what you were doing the previous action, or the previous panel. So this panel will be the one where, yeah. You're right, you're right.
I will helplessly witness and keep my focus on, keep Eve's focus on electric.
All right. Muck boot.
I don't know what there's left to do, because I think all the fights are far enough away that I'm not really going to get anything done, right?
Yeah, you step out of the hallway and you don't see nobody. Well, you see lots of people. Some of them are hurt. But you don't see any of your allies or enemies.
A question occurs to me. That last panel, would that mean like losing all action, or could I even like just talk in the comm, for example, and move or do a dice action?
I would say you could talk. I would say you do a brief talk through a comm channel.
Could I at least alert my friends to the presence of the electric raider on at one of the turbo lifts? Could I at least do that much?
Yeah, that's no problem at all.
Okay, that's all. That's what Eve does then. Thank you.
And you would have heard Silver Shooting Star over the comms going, "He's got a map." All right, so is there anything Muckboot wants to do, since he can't get into the fight just right this moment?
Shut down the turbo lifts.
He would have the authorization to do that, now that I think about it.
I will give a statement that the intruders have a map
Okay.
to Diute and see what Diute has to offer as an option.
He seems a little annoyed that they would have a map to the place. But that also means that they're trying to find specific locations. And you hear he gets on the comms and starts sending guards to sensitive locations. The station's main power core. Of course, there's an attack, so the security was already jacking up around the dignitaries' quarters. He starts shutting. He starts ordering basically. Nobody's going to be allowed into the, nobody in or out of the docking bays until this is stable. He does not specifically say anything about turbo lifts because, he doesn't know about that. But if there's nothing else, we'll move on to Gazer. He gets the turbo lift and he's hitting the button and just repeatedly boop, 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 boop. We've all seen somebody impatient at an elevator. As he's doing that, he turns around and he looks at Bloodthorn. He fires another energy blast. Except this time, let's see. Bloodthorn, give yourself a determination point, as he is using one of his qualities. And he is going to try to put a... he's trying to put a quality... create a quality, I should say. So, give me Bloodthorn's coordination. Give me a coordination check with her. You can add athletics to this if you've got it. Let's see, this will be his coordination plus his power specialty. All right, so he got a 9. So beat about 2. So he fires, but he fires like a bit in front of you, a decent ways in front of you, and basically blasts a hole in the floor, down to like the next level. And it's a decently wide gap. I mean, you could potentially jump it,
But I'm going to have to stop and.
or try or run full bore and leap it. But that's going to require a roll to successfully do.
Gotcha.
Now it just punches down into the next level of the station, not out into space or anything.
Okay.
But clearly he's hoping that will stop you from getting to him while he waits on the elevator. Silver Shooting Star. Oh, go ahead. What was that?
Oh, I'm just picturing spacey elevator music.
I'm gonna try and blow apart this guy's knee so he can't get in the elevator.
All right.
So I'm tapping.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Let's see. You're 2 areas away. Well, if you fire after you move this round, you would be just though you wouldn't be as far back. So yeah, just give me an attack roll then. He'll roll his
And I'm
coordination.
going to tap Repentant Space Pirate because this is probably not the first time I have shot someone in the knee so they can't get away.
But boy, they didn't deserve it this time.
Alright. And boop, 13.
All right, he rolled a 10.
Yeah.
So you beat him by 3. That's a major success. So that puts shattered. We'll call the quality shattered knee.
That'll work.
And you get 2 free tappings of it. So so he could try to hobble away, but then you could tap that to catch up with him quicker.
Yeah.
So yeah, he screams. He falls back, up against the wall. Reaches down and grabs his knee. You can see the suit is shredded. The lots of blood. Well, it's an energy blast, so probably just a bad burn around the knee. Let's see. So Shooting Star. The electric chick basically loses this round waiting on the door to open. But, her turn would basically end with that door finally hissing open. Psst. Bloodthorn, you are barreling towards a gap in the hallway.
I'm going to keep barreling and I'm going to try and jump that gap.
All right, coordinations. And, like I keep saying, athletics if you've got it. Let's see. Difficulty is 7. You rolled a 9.
We got a 9.
You don't even slow up. You just. And on the other side. So you move an area catching up basically. Where it was him. He was 2 areas ahead of you. Now he's an area. Next round, you'll be, assuming he can't run away, which with his knee is probably not going to
Doesn't
happen.
look like it's going to happen.
So next round, you'll be able to get into close with him. Eve.
Eve would like to shoot forth a limb and use the stretching powers to try to liquid metal his way into the door, the turbo lift through the cracks. If that might be it, that probably would be another. Yeah, that would almost certainly be another power stunt.
No, I think that's pretty much how, because her turn ended with the door opening. Psst. She's still standing next to the controls outside. She has not had a chance to step into the thing yet.
Oh, great. Well, in that case, I'd like to stretch and just, even if I could even just stretch around her and just just completely block up the entrance to the turbo lift. If that's a thing that Eve could do, that is what Eve would like to do.
Okay. You stretch in there, so the upper half of your body is basically blocking this doorway. And then about where a person's waist would be stretches back way, way down the hallway where your legs are still pumping to catch up. Because all these rounds she's been flying away at, 45 miles an hour. And Eve's running like a dude.
Right.
But stretching ahead to... So it'll be a little while for your legs catch up with you, but the rest of you is up there and in the way of the doorway. She cannot walk in without moving you in some way.
Okay, cool.
Let's see, we're back to Muckboot. Is there any orders or anything Muckboot wants to do?
It sounds like everything's going great. Muckboot's just gonna help the injured.
Okay.
While he's here.
You start doing basic first aid, setting limbs until because Gazer's
Setting the limbs of the creatures I know how to set the limbs of.
right. I'm not sure how to set an exoskeleton, so I'm going to leave that for the professional.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's not a limb. I'm so sorry.
I wasn't trying to be fresh, I promise.
Charges are being pressed.
But so yeah, lots of people outside are kind of smashed up. The guards inside that brushed up against the electric woman, yeah, they're pretty well gone. Kind of crispy fried. And yes, it does smell awful. Gazer is going to take a shot at Bloodthorn because she is getting far too close for his comfort. He got an 11. He got a 10. So that is 7 points of damage.
Okay.
No knockbacks or anything.
That leaves me with 2.
Yeah, but you're within stabby range next.
Yeah,
next turn,
stabby range.
So if you pull that off, you'll be feeling much better. If you pull that off.
If.
Silver Shooting Star. You are coming up on the gap now.
I'm gonna try and jump it.
Coordination athletics.
Oh!
So close. So close. For a second, you think you're going to make it. And then you come just shy. Your foot just barely touches kind of a bent down bit of metal and then slips off of it. You try to grab, but you just hit and slide as you fall down about a 20-foot drop down into the floor beneath you.
Ooh. It's,
Luckily, the people walking in that hallway had already cleared out when they saw the hole blown in the...
how much do I take from that one?
Oh, let's see, a 20-foot drop. That is a very good question. I'm not sure if Icons has falling damage. Give me a coordination check.
Where were you the last time I rolled?
All right, so you kind of, tuck and roll, or you get in a position where, you kind of hit the ground trying to, roll forward to dissipate as much of the energy as possible. Kind of like a stunt man can take a fall out of a car better than a person because they know how to hit and roll,
Yeah.
It's not perfect, and you are effectively stunned for a round. Not unconscious, but you are, you're rattling, just laying there, collecting your wits, and then trying to decide, does anything feel broken? As sapients of various species kind of gather around you, is he okay?
Peachy.
All right, the electrical woman. Oh, she swears at you. Tells you she cannot wait. Hang on, I seem to have lost a... there's my info. Lost my Google Doc for a second. She cannot wait for Urim to disperse you as he has dispersed others of your kind.
Oh.
And then she steps over to like the next door in the bank and hits the button on that elevator.
Oh, I'm sorry. There's another door open. Is that what she?
Yeah, there was like three. There's 3 elevators here.
Oh, okay.
I mean, all of them had the door, so she hits that one. Now she's standing there waiting.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. She just activated. She just called for another door.
In fact, she hits that one and then moves over and hits the third one, so both doors are coming. And then she just kind of scowls at you. It takes kind of a defensive, like she's ready for you to make an attack.
Maybe my next move should be as soon as the doors open, just like hit every button. Maybe I pull that move.
That's so annoying.
I know.
I haven't seen Hawkeye, I've just seen that scene. But I love that character in Black Widow, so I've got to watch Hawkeye at some point just because she's in it. All right.
She's good in Hawkeye too. She's got a good part.
Or Yelena. Either or.
Pardon?
Which one, Kate Bishop or Yelena?
Elena's the one I was thinking of, though what little I've seen of Kate Bishop, it looks like that's going to be funny too.
I wouldn't spoil anything.
All right, so that was her. Bloodthorn.
If I'm in range, I'm gonna stabbity.
You spin your movement running up, but yeah, then you get within, right up within range, and you see him kind of bracing for it.
Boom. Boom.
All right, his coordination is a 6 plus his martial arts. The first one misses. He got a 13 to beat your 11, and then he got a 12 to beat your 11.
Yeah.
If only you had tapped the busted leg.
Yeah, I'm a terrible player. I didn't think about that.
Didn't think about abusing the weakness of your enemies?
What kind of assassin are you?
That's more from Space Pirate.
I mean, he's there with the busted leg. How did I freaking...
So yeah, he ducks and dodges and
Of course, I never thought I'd need to tap anything to hit him, but...
Yep.
Guess what?
Not gonna make that mistake again, huh? And everything you've seen from this guy, this is clearly a well-trained, yeah, he's got powers, but he's clearly been trained in how to fight. Ooh, it's getting late. We gotta wrap this up. Ebe.
Is there any way Ebe could will he be able to kind of convene his whole body there to the point where Ebe could just cover all the entrances to the
just a wall of Ebe laying there in her way?
Yeah, just stretch as far as is that a thing? Ebe would like to try to do that, all the while demanding to know who this Urum is, who knows so much about me, who seems to know me so well, or at least know of my kind so well, or Ebe's kind. Will he be able to pull that off, or is he still too fast?
Oh, no, you can expand, your width to cover that. No problem.
Yeah.
Because he's got a pretty decent
8.
Yeah, he's got excellent elongation
Why, thank
or
you.
plasticity, whatever they call it.
Yes.
Give me a willpower roll to see if you can make her, if you can talk her into giving you information.
Sure.
I
I would like to propose taking on a tactic to activate Wanted for Star Crimes and kind of losing Eve's shit a little bit. Like, I'm trying to figure out exactly how. Maybe he, if there are any witnesses in the area, well, there are witnesses because there's at the very least there's security cam.
Yeah, there's people in the area, but you're in the back hallways where it's a little thinner.
Yeah, because I think Eve would like. I think Eve might like kind of like get a little dark and gritty, as it were. Kind of lose his stuff because Eve has been prepondering the possibility of having perhaps having some connection or even being perhaps the maniac star that I heard of, terror to poor innocent alien children throughout the cosmos. Just to add to my willpower attempt to kind of like reinforce the attempt at intimidating Electric Raider into spilling the beans.
Okay, so yeah, trying to be intimidating. Eve go. I'm picturing Eve going into kind of a rant about Eve living Nebula, with that whole maniac son thing on his mind. Maybe he declares himself the child of the maniac son, just because he thinks it sounds impressive and maybe scary.
Oh shit! I didn't even think about that. Like, kind of like could I modify that to say that does there just start like going off about how the terrors of the maniac star, and if you think if that's what a star could do, just imagine what Nebula could do. That is I don't know. I guess directly connected to.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, something. Yeah, if I'm not declaring myself obvious a child, but certainly a being that's capable of the exact same kind of like fuckery that the maniac star did.
No
And,
problem.
Just reminding him that I'm not just the happy little cosmic Buddha that people seem to take me for. I think that's exactly the tone that he's taking. It's like I'm not just here for like good fortunes and whatever. He's not just that kind of. He's not like just.
I'm not just here to have my belly rubbed for good luck.
Yeah, exactly. Have one more belly rub.
All right, give me a willpower roll then.
D6 plus 4 plus 2. Oh, close.
So 10 was the number you needed to beat.
Yeah.
So she has.
Deep shit, at least.
So yeah, it doesn't have any particular effect on her. She has no idea who or what the maniac star is, apparently.
Right.
But you hear a gasp from elsewhere in the hallway.
Yeah, I'm totally on cosmic YouTube at this point.
And when you look over, you see 3 people from that species of that.
Oh boy, of course.
And as soon as you hear the gasp, you become aware that they're there. Maybe you've hung out with beings enough that you actually turn the lump that is your head to look at them.
Right.
And I mean, it's just kind of like, and then when they realize your attention is on them, they turn and just run down the hallway.
Of course. Oh boy. I imagine that would be that'll be shocking enough to shake Eve out of Eve's brief bout of mania there.
Oh, I'm sure there'll be no repercussions from that.
No, that's not going to get around.
And it's uploaded. All right. So I'm going to assume Muck Boot is still hipping this injured. So we're going to go through one more round with Gazer and the chick. Gazer is going to take a shot at Bloodthorn.
Of course.
Now, before you rolled, you have 2 tappings of the shattered knee.
Yeah, I better tap that.
If you can save them for the attacks, or you can spend 1 here and 1 on the attacks, however you want to do it.
I'm gonna use one to dodge because if he hits me, he's gonna get away.
Okay.
And I would also, if it's allowed, would like to go ahead and spend a regular determination point to add to it. Can I do that?
Yes, as long as you're tapping a different quality.
Yeah, I'm going to tap my own quality, Killer Beauty, if that'll work.
And this is to help you with dodging.
Yes.
Sure. You can make kissy faces at him or something, to distract him.
I could also, she's got one, will not be controlled, especially by men. So I guess that's +4, right? Or is it?
Yes, it'd be plus. Each of them would give you +2.
Okay.
And 12 is the number to beat.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
Okay, so you take a hit.
I go down.
All right, so for Bloodthorn, the lights go out all over the world. Jumping down to
So close.
and Silver Shooting Star, you would have a chance to have gotten up, but you're a level below, so you're not going to get there in time to to have a direct effect on what happens next. Back down to Ebe. I skipped the electrical lady, but cutting back over that scene, the electrical lady is she's trying to punch Eve at this point. She's getting frustrated. Her coordination.
Oh, okay. Oh, is this a physical attack though?
Yeah, she is punching you. I mean, she's covered in energy, so that's going to be a factor too. But
Oh, okay. But I'm just wondering what I should be rolling for defense.
still coordination.
Okay.
Or excuse me, prowess.
Oh, okay.
Because this is fisticuffs.
Oh, does martial arts help for prowess
Yes.
as well? Cool. I get to add that modifier.
Yeah, it's one of the few that does attacks and defenses.
Okay. Not that it matters too much.
All right, so she lays into you.
Well, it did stop it from being. Like, what's massive? Is that 4 or 5?
4.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind. Yeah, that case, it didn't really matter then. But still. Okay.
No. 4 is technically the top end of moderate. My bad.
Oh, okay. Oh, it did matter then.
If you go over 4, then you get into massive.
Okay.
However, her aura is only doing 6 points of damage.
Mm-hmm.
And Eve's damage reduction is like an 8.
Yes.
So you're feeling it, but it's not enough electricity to really do you any damage.
That's a tingle.
And then it is Eve's turn.
Yeah, it just matches the shiver down my non-existent spine. Given that it's already 5:13, may I suggest that perhaps you give me a determination point and say I'm kind of like so overcome by what Eve just vented out that it's possible for Electric to kind of like dodge his notice. Like maybe he almost like unconsciously contracts as he's like shocked by, the
Sure, or you're moving to try to avoid the blow, and then you get hit. So sure, she slips into the elevator and hits the button to close the doors.
Yeah, I just didn't know if you wanted like a quick wrap up or what.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
So yes, these two have gotten away to somewhere deeper in the station. Regular security forces over the next hour are unable to find him. And then we will pick up next time with the search for these two.
Explodes.
Maybe. Actually, let me roll that back. An hour will not have passed. The station security has lost sight of them currently. We will pick up next time. 10 or 15 minutes later, y'all will have had time to group back up and get a little bit of first aid, and then decide what to do from there.
Sounds good.
So that'll be it for today. I hope y'all had fun. I enjoyed running it. I haven't done a whole lot of chase scenes, though. We did have the one with Squadron, where y'all were passing the doctor back and forth and running around Boston.
Oh, that was fun. I like that one.
But yeah, so this was a chase through the lodge. I hope anybody that came by and watched, or is will come by later and watch. Oh no, I take that back. We've had a few people. Nobody's been talking in the chat. We've had a few people signed in here watching.
Like, comment, and subscribe, or something. Is that what we're supposed to say on the?
I think so. I think that's
start doing that.
That is the universal something.
Yeah, we gotta start. And we're not gonna become massive comic RPG influencers if
we need to thank our sponsors.
Thank you, ShareSpace or Skill Square or whoever's keep propping up the podcast industry these days.
Raid Shadow Legends would probably be the one. Anyway, we're willing to shield for any of those people. Just let us know. But anyway, any of y'all that came by, thanks for coming by. I hope you enjoyed it. The folks that come by, later and watch us or listen to us, I hope y'all join us next time. Until then, I was your GM for the day, Jason, and with me was Taylor playing Muckboot.
I forgot that I had muted my mic for a second for conversation.
Curtis playing Bloodthorn.
Laters.
Mike playing Eve, the Living Nebula.
Theo.
And Zach playing Silver Shooting Star.
Have a good night.
Who will have had time to get his armor by the next one. Though I think he did pretty well, even without it, truth be told.
Yeah, he did.
But anyway, we'll see y'all later.